ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So today we will discuss a very beautiful pastime of Lord Chaitanya. We all know, as one advances in devotional service to the Lord, one actually becomes more and more humble. It's a very important quality of a devotee which attracts the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Knowledge is directly proportional to humility. As one becomes knowledgeable, when one gains spiritual understanding and knowledge, one becomes humble. And this humility is a great qualification to attract the mercy of Lord Krishna. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he instructed everyone, Trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari. If we want to chant the holy name of the Lord 24 hours a day, we should adopt these two important things. More humbler than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. These attitudes are very important. These understandings are very important. If someone is gaining knowledge and he is becoming proud, it is not a sign of real knowledge. It is a sign of ahankara, false. It is not real understanding. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very mercifully cuts down such false ahankara of a devotee. So, there was a learned scholar by name Vallabha Bhatta. He had heard about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he wanted to meet him. He knew that Lord Chaitanya, he has made Jagannath Puri as his headquarters. Actually, rather than hearing from the Lord, he wanted to explain Bhagavatam to the Lord. He was in that mood. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes his mood when he wanted to go and meet Lord Chaitanya. So what was his mood? It says, Ami se Vaishnava. I am a great Vaishnava. Bhakti Siddhanta Sabjani. I know all the conclusions of bhakti. I know everything. आमी से भागवता अर्था उद्धावा खानी. I can explain and understand, I can understand Bhagavatam very nicely and I can explain Bhagavatam very nicely. See, he is not a Mayavadi. He is a Vaishnava. But proud Vaishnava. Very proud of his learning. That he has read Bhagavatam nicely. He can understand the conclusions of Bhagavatam and he can explain very nicely. With this mood, he went to meet Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya is omniscient. He understands everyone's deepest desire. So when he came and paid his obeisances, Lord Chaitanya embraced him because he is a devotee of the Lord. But at the same time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to cut down his pride, like Lord Krishna cut down the pride of Indra. See, that is the example given in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Lord Chaitanya, he presented himself as one who has no understanding of bhakti. And he is learning bhakti. To teach him that, my dear sir, you have to learn bhakti from great devotees. Bhakti is not assimilated by reading Bhagavatam. It is assimilated in association of Bhagavatas. Bhagavata paragiya Bhagavata sthane. If you want to learn Bhagavatam, you have to learn it from person Bhagavatam. You see, that is very important. You have to learn it from person Bhagavatam. So Srila Prabhupada is a person Bhagavatam. What we are learning is not a dry understanding of Bhagavatam. It is from the realization of Srila Prabhupada. That is a proper method of learning Bhagavatam, which Vallabha Bhatta did not want to follow. He had become a great scholar by learning himself Bhagavatam. And we will see how Lord Chaitanya cuts down his pride. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented himself as a Mayavadi sannyasi. He said, I am a Mayavadi sannyasi. What do I know about bhakti? I do not know anything about bhakti. So he said, Shunu Bhatta Mahamati, O Mahamati, O greatly learned Venkata Bhatta, Vallabha Bhatta. Shunu Bhatta Mahamati, Mayavadi sannyasi ami. I am actually a Mayavadi sannyasi. I took initiation in Mayavadi sect. Na jani Krishna Bhakti. I have no understanding about Krishna Bhakti. So that is how Lord Chaitanya first of all presented. Then he said, but slowly I have started learning about bhakti from some of the great personalities. So Lord Chaitanya now glorifies some of his very exalted devotees, and that how one should learn in their association what is the meaning of bhakti. So first of all, he glorifies Advaita Acharya, because now he has already said, actually I am a Mayavadi sannyasi. But then he is saying, it is in association of Advaita Acharya that my mind has now become purified. Otherwise, I am actually a Mayavadi sannyasi. So he says, Sarva Shastre Krishna Bhakte Nahi Arasama Ateva Advaita Acharya Taranama. He's saying, you know why he's called Advaita? One of the meaning of Advaita is one who has no equal. No one is a competitor. No one can compete with him. Advaita, one alone. He says he is called Advaita because Sarva Shastre, he knows the essence of all Shastras. Krishna Bhakti. And he knows that essence of all Shastra is devotional service to Lord Krishna. Nahi Arasama, there is no one equal to him. In understanding this, in understanding what? Krishna Bhakti, and in understanding the essence of all Vedic scriptures. No one is equal to Advaita Acharya. And that is why he is called as Advaita Acharya. Then he glorifies him further. He says, you know, what is the potency of such a great Vaishnava? He can make even a malecha, meat eater, take to devotional service. This is the potency of Advaita Acharya. So he says, Yahar Kripate, by his mercy, Malecha haya Krishna Bhakti. Malecha starts practicing Krishna Bhakti. Ke kahite pare, what can I talk about his limit? Ke kahite pare, Tara Vaishnavata Shakti. What can I talk about the great Vaishnava power which Advaita Acharya has? You see. So first he glorifies. And then he says, do you know Lord Nityananda? So he says, Nityananda Avadhuta. Lord Nityananda, he is Avadhuta. Avadhuta means no one can understand his disposition. No one can understand his mind. He is called as Avadhuta. But who is he? Sakshat Ishvara. He is Supreme Lord himself. Bhavon Made Matta. He is completely mad in ecstasy. Matta means mad. Bhava Unmada. Great ecstasy. He is always absorbed in great ecstasy. And Krishna Premera Sagara. He is a great ocean of Krishna Prema. And then he says, so Lord Chaitanya is explaining from where he is learning bhakti, in whose association he is understanding about Krishna Bhakti. In the end, Lord Chaitanya says, in all their association, I have learned the meaning of what is Krishna Bhakti. Then he says about Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. So here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also explaining the greatness of these devotees. What are the symptoms of these great devotees? All of these devotees had different work to be achieved by the planning of the Supreme Lord. Through them, Krishna wanted, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to achieve different things. So, differently they are glorified by the Lord for their different understanding in Krishna consciousness. So, about Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Saddarshana Vetta, completely well versed in all 6 philosophies which are given in the Vedic literatures. Completely well versed. Bhattacharya Sarvabhauma, Shaddarshane Jagadguru, and he is the spiritual master of the whole world who can teach these 6 darshanas to the whole world. Shaddarshane Jagadguru. Not only that, Bhagavato Uttama, he is the greatest of the devotees. Bhagavata means devotees. He is one of the most exalted of the devotees, Bhagavato Uttama. And then he is telling, Teneha dekhaile more. He was the one who showed me Bhakti Yoga Para, that what is the limit of bhakti. Para means what is the limit of bhakti. Tara Prasade Janilu, it is by his mercy, Krishna Bhakti Yoga Sara. It was by his mercy I was able to understand that Krishna Bhakti is the essence of all yogas. It is by his mercy. And then Lord Chaitanya says about Ramananda Raya. He says Ramananda Raya, he is an ocean of transcendental mellows of Radha and Krishna. He is a transcendental, he is an ocean of transcendental mellows, one who understands them properly. So he says, Ramananda Raya, Krishna Rasera Nidhana. Nidhana means he is a mine. He is a mine of Krishna Rasera, transcendental mellows of Krishna, love of Krishna. Tenaha Janila Krishna Swayam Bhagavana. It was from him I understood that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he says, Raga Marge Prema Bhakti Sarvadhika Jani. Prema Bhakti Purushartha Shiromani. He says, Tate, through him, through his mercy, Prema Bhakti Purushartha Shiromani, I was able to understand not only what is Krishna, I was able to understand that love of Krishna, Prema Bhakti, is Purushartha Shiromani. It is the highest of all Purusharthas. We all understand there are Chatur Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. People are aware only about these four Purusharthas. They do not know Prema Pumartho Mahan. There is Panchama Purushartha, which is Krishna Prema. And Lord Chaitanya is telling this understanding that Krishna Prema is the Panchama Purushartha and Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I learned from Advaita Acharya, Ramananda Raya. So he is saying, Raga Marge Prema Bhakti Sarvadhika Jani. And I could understand that it is only through spontaneous devotional service one can attain Prema Bhakti, which is greatest goal of human life. So, through Ramananda Raya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained, it is not by Vidhi Bhakti one can attain the favor of Lord Krishna. Only after one has come to the point of spontaneous Raga Marge Prema Bhakti Sarvadhika Jani, I could understand that that is the greatest goal of human life. What else Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says he could understand from Ramananda Raya? So he explains to Vallabha Bhatta that there are two emotions. Aishwarya Jnana Yukta Bhava and Kevala Bhava. Aishwarya Jnana Yukta Bhava. Aishwarya Gyan Yukta means when one is aware of opulence of Krishna. Aishwarya Jnana Bhava. When one is aware of opulence, is always aware of the opulence of Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shadeshwarya Purna Bhagwan. See, that is one bhava. Another is Kevala Bhava, uncontaminated. Not even about, one does not even know about the opulence of Krishna. He has already crossed that stage. Mother Yashoda has crossed that stage. All the friends of Krishna have crossed their stage. They are climbing on the shoulder of Krishna. Mother Yashoda is taking stick and running behind Krishna. They are not in that Aishwarya Bhava Jnana. They are not in that. So he is saying, Aishwarya Jnana Yukte Kevala Bhava Ara. These are two different bhavas. One is Aishwarya Jnana Yukta, another is Kevala, uncontaminated bhava. Aishwarya Jnane Na Pai Vrajendra Kumara. One may go to Vaikuntha Loka, no doubt about it. But with Aishwarya Bhava, Aishwarya Jnana Bhava, one will not be able to meet Supreme Lord Krishna. Na Pai Vrajendra Kumara. One cannot find Lord Krishna. So then he says, what can I tell you about the greatness of Ramananda Raya? Kahana na yaya. It is impossible to explain the glories of Ramananda Raya. Ramanandera Prabhava. Kahana na yaya. I cannot understand, I cannot explain the Prabhava, the knowledge and the influence of Ramananda Raya. Raya Prasade Janilu Vrajera Shuddha Bhava. It is only by his prasada, his mercy, I could understand the bhava of Vrajavasis. By what emotions, following in whose footsteps, one should worship Lord Krishna. It was only by Ramananda Raya's mercy I was able to understand all this, he says. Then next, Lord Chaitanya talks about Swarup Damodara, one of the most confidential devotees of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya never discussed this esoteric, very, very high level of talks about gopis or Krishna or Srimati Radharani with practically other devotees apart from Ramananda Raya and specifically Swarup Damodara. He was one of the most confidential servitor of Lord Chaitanya. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls him Prema Rasa Murtiman, personification of that mellows of Krishna. He is a personification. Andaraya explained everything, but he is saying personification of all of those mellows is Swarup Damodara. So he says, Damodara Swarupa Prema Rasa Murtiman Yara Sange Haile Vraj Madhur Rasera Gyan. Because the transcendental mellows of ecstatic love, he is the personification. By his association, Yara Sange Haile, I was able to understand the transcendental mellows of conjugal love. Vraj Madhur Rasa Gyan. I was able to understand the transcendental conjugal love of Radha and Krishna and the gopis and Krishna. Next, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talks about Haridas Thakur. He says, Haridas Thakur Mahabhagavata Pradhan. Among all Mahabhagavatas, most exalted is Thakur Haridas. Pratidin laya tenaha teen lakshana. Every day he chants 3 lakh names of Lord Krishna. Namera Mahima Ami Tara Thani. Sikhuleen Tara Prasade Namer Mahima Jani. He's saying, it is by his association I was able to understand the glories of holy name. Namer Mahima Ami Tara Thani. Sikhuleen Tara Prasade Namer Mahima Jani. And it is by his mercy that I could assimilate and understand the glories of holy name. And that is why we understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called him Nama Acharya. Haridas Thakur was called the Acharya of the holy name. See. And then Lord Chaitanya started describing others. Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, Pandit Gadadhar, Jagadananda, Damodara, Shankara, Vakreshwara, Kashishwara, Mukunda, Vasudeva, Murari, Arayakta, Bhatagana, and many other great devotees. God Avatari, all these great devotees, they took incarnation. They all were born by the plan of the Lord in Bengal, Gaudadeshi Avatari. For what? Krishna Nama Prema Kaile Jagat Prachar. In order to spread the holy name and Krishna Prem all over the world. Iha Sabara Sange Krishna Bhakti Ye Amar. It is all in their association that I learned the meaning of Krishna Bhakti. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is glorifying that not only all these great personality, there is Acharya Ratna, there is Acharya Nidhi, Pandit Gadadhar, Jagdananda, Damodara, so all these great devotees. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorifies them. Then there was a slight change in the heart of Vallabha Bhatta. He was able to understand his insignificant position when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained. So he asked, my dear Lord, will I be able to meet all of them? Will it be possible? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, tomorrow you come, I will invite all of them. So next day, Vallabha Bhatta, he brought lots of Mahaprasadam from Jagannath Puri, lots of sandalwood pulp, everything he brought. And he came, and when he entered, he was completely astonished to see all these great devotees. And what was the feeling going on in his mind is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita after seeing all these great devotees. So, Vaishnavera tej dekhi bhattera chamatkara. When he saw the glowing effulgence coming out from all these great Vaishnavas, he was wonderstruck. Chamatkara means he was completely wonderstruck. Tan sabara age bhatta khadyota akara. Khadyota means it looked like so much effulgence is coming from these great Vaishnavas. He felt himself like a glowworm in front of all these great Vaishnavas. He was able to understand his position in front of, and he has come to tell Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about Bhagavatam, about Krishna. So indirectly how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made him to realize his insignificant position. He was able to understand, I am just like a glowworm in front of them. So then some sense came to him. After meeting them all, he paid obeisances to all of them, and he served them whatever Jagannath Prasadam he had brought, and after that he personally gave everyone the sandalwood pulp which he had brought. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invited him to Rath Yatra. So after few days there was Rath Yatra. And as usual, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided the whole Sankirtana into many parties. And we have all read about that. There were nearly 14 Mridanga players. You can imagine, Kartal players, lead singer, then repeat singer, and in every one party there was a great dancer who would dance in ecstasy. And then, seeing all these things, his mind was blown completely when he saw the ecstatic symptoms in Rath Yatra dancing, and when he personally also saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing in this Rath Yatra. So he was greatly astonished by all that. One day, after this festival was over, still his pride remained. So the final traces of his pride still remained, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to cut off that. So he came to Lord Chaitanya and he submitted a request. So what is the request he submitted? Bhagavatera tika kichu kari achi likhana. I have written some great commentary on Bhagavatam. Apne Mahaprabhu yari karena shravana. My dear Lord, will you kindly hear the tika which I have written on Srimad Bhagavatam? I want to read it out to you. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Bhagavata artha bhuji bina pari. I cannot understand Bhagavatam. I am not in that position to understand what is there in Bhagavatam. Bhujite na pari. Bhagavata artha sunite ami nahi adhikari. I am not a right candidate to understand Srimad Bhagavatam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to tell him, you are a fool. You are a fool if you are thinking you have written a commentary on Bhagavatam. What commentary you can write? Are you adhikari? Cannot understand Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is not a cheap book that you can understand and write a commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. Isn't it? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. And then he said, what do? I simply chant the holy name of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to avoid hearing his so-called commentary on Bhagavatam, which he had written. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I simply chant the holy name of the Lord. Unfortunately, even though I chant both day and night, I cannot finish my chanting. So where do I have time to hear your Bhagavad Katha? What do you want to tell? Then he said, okay, my dear Lord, I have tried to describe elaborately different meanings of this word Krishna. Please hear those explanations from me. You see. So to this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied that I don't understand any other meaning of Krishna other than that he is Shyama Sundara and he is Yashoda Nandan. I do not understand any other meaning. And all Vedic scripture says the meaning of Krishna is he is Shyama Sundara and he is the beloved son of Mother Yashoda. These are the only two meaning I can understand about the word Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to inform him, do not speculate about the meaning of Hare Krishna mantra or word Krishna with your imagination. So then, one day, like this, his false pride was diminishing, and sometimes he would come and he would argue on certain principles. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would not speak. Advaita Acharya, Swarup Damodar, they will defeat him, left and right. So every day he would be hurt, his false pride was shattered like anything. One day he came and he argued with Advaita Acharya. You devotees, you don't know what is religious principle. You have no understanding of what is religious principle. Do you know what is religious principle? He said, according to the scriptures, every living entity is a female. Every living entity is Prakriti. And Krishna is Purusha. He is the master of Prakriti. He is the husband of this Prakriti. It is duty of a chaste wife not to utter the name of her husband. So what kind of religious principle you people are following? Day and night you are chanting Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. What religious principle you are all following? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, here is Lord Chaitanya. He will answer your question. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, the first duty of a chaste woman is to carry out the order of her husband. And the order of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita is Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Dridhavrataha. The first duty of a woman is to carry out the order of her husband, isn't it? And the order of Krishna, order of her husband is to always chant his name. This completely shattered Vallabha Bhatta. Is completely broken. Once again he went away. And then he thought that nobody else will hear me. He went to Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit was, somehow or other, because he had a lot of respect for Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit heard him praying to Lord Chaitanya that, my dear Lord, I don't want to hear him. Because they all knew that rather than explaining Srimad Bhagavatam, he would be simply speculating. So one day, once again, after meeting Gadadhar Pandit, he came to Lord Chaitanya and he said, my dear Lord, I can tell you that at many places, Sridhar Swami has not explained Bhagavatam properly. I can point out those mistakes. Immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very angry. He said, anyone who does not accept Sridhar Swami, his authority, is a prostitute. Anyone who does not accept the authority of Sridhar Swami, he is actually a prostitute. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to point out to him that actually one has to learn Srimad Bhagavatam not by speculation. Bhakti is not understood by one's own imagination. Mahagata yena gatasa panthaha. It is only by following in the footsteps of great Mahajanas one can actually understand the meaning of bhakti, conclusions of the religion. Dharmasya tattvam nihitam guhayam mahajana yena gatasa panthaha. One cannot understand otherwise. It is very, very confidential. The truths of Vedic literatures are very confidential. Everyone cannot understand. It is only by following in the footsteps of these great devotees that one can understand. So Sridhar Swami, the original commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam, is a great authority. And it is only in parampara of such great personalities, acharyas, the Mahajanas, that one can understand Srimad Bhagavatam. Otherwise, there is no possibility of understanding. So somehow or other, even though actually he was a devotee, Vallabha Bhatta, later on he made his own different sect, and we all know that it came to be known as Vallabha Sampradaya. You see, that came to be known as Vallabha Sampradaya. Of course, Prabhupada says they are also devotees, but we can understand that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually taught him the real understanding of how to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, how to understand Krishna Bhakti. So this was one of the very beautiful, wonderful Leela which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed in order to cut down the false pride of Vallabha Bhatta. So we'll stop with this. Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki